doing today, this week, this evening, this afternoon, this morning. If you have slept, if you haven't slept, how are you doing? How are you doing? How's everything going? Today, well, anyways, let me start. I was gonna be a dick and not ask you how you guys are doing. But anyways, Kudzi, how are you doing?
I'm great, Chris. How you doing, man? Who just say you?
I was at the Punza and this good, but see, how are you doing?
Andrew Bosha. I can't complain, bro. I'm alive. I'm good. I've had a good week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Well, today I want to keep it. The Muka. I just woke up just now and I was dreaming of something very crazy, and I just thought, you know what? The phone of the boys didn't sort of man. What did they say? Tell very quick ways because it's that you wrote ways. So the issue I want to talk about is black tax and how it affects our generation, and see how we should be taking it and how we're currently taking it at the moment, right? So the first question really would be what is black tax? I mean, we know what it is, but what is black tax?
Do we really? Do we know what it is?
I think our generation, some of our generation haven't fully experienced it, but I mean, let's give it like a sample definition of what black tax is.
All right, cool. I think black tax is a certain obligation that is put on black people to take care of the Zarese. What is it? That's my short Zarese, Zarese. Whether you know them, you don't know them, you are close, you don't check it at it, or just that obligation to help out people from your family, or close or not close, just to help out financially. Kakwanda got you.
It's mainly financial. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Kudzi, what do you think?
I mean, it's mostly financial. Because of where we come from, there are certain systems that are not in place, and therefore, because they're not in place, we are bound to take on responsibilities, sometimes that are, beyond our means. So that's why then it's now called black tax, because it's now deemed as tax. No matter what. No matter what. So I think that's what black tax is. I mean, it goes to the extremes of like what Basi is saying. It really goes to those extremes.
Okay, all right, great stuff. But why? Why is there black tax? Who started it? Why did they start it? Like, what were they trying to achieve? Like, why is it somewhat sort of an obligation for the one who has succeeded to take care of the family? Why is it such an obligation? Why does it exist?
I think that just goes back to our culture, bro. Like it's one of those scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. It's one of those kubatirana ubuntu. That's just what we know as in our culture as black people. That's what we do. Tinosumudzirana. That's all the idea is. Tinofana kunge tichisumudzirana. I know it's a misconception with you. But I'm just saying that's just in our culture, right? Like we're supposed to be helping each other to bring ourselves to the next level and then to the next level and then to the next level. That's the idea behind it. So I think it's just something that's always been in our culture. So it's now just got the name black tax, but it's something it's an age-old thing that's always been there. And I think chakauya nenguva iyoyo yekuti uri kubva kumusha uchiedza kugadzira zvinhu waona, and then wamuharare zvinhu zvakufaya wounzwawo someone ubva kumusha kuti asumukirewo futi type vibe. Kakawanda kacho it's your little brother, your cousin, whatever the case may be, close family, so that you can just bring them up to the next level.
But you're saying it doesn't include parents?
No, of course it does. I'm just giving an example.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where should you, because I'm trying to understand here, why should I uplift Munara Poronga his own life? Let's take for an example, right? let's say, for example, somebody he did well in his life. He went to school, achieved the English metrics, proper English. Why don't you call grade one form 6? Straight. It's my name. What is it's my name? And straight chirungu. You've got a great job and stuff like that. But you've got a cousin of yours, maybe a brother of yours, who spent all his education and now he's struggling. Why is it now your responsibility to uplift him? Let's not talk about Kubatsana because he decided to mess his thing up. He doesn't say my name is, he says my name is, and life. Why should you be responsible for him at that point? Maybe if you can take this one.
I don't think it's seen as, you're responsible for this person. It's look at it from this point of view. You come from this family where in your family ndiwe wakatotanga kukwira bhazi rekuenda kuHarare. You know what I mean? Iwe ndiwe wakatanga kuziya kuti kuHarare kune chii kuHarare. What's in Harare? My lights in Harare. You are deemed as the person who's successful in your family. So people are now looking up to you. This is how I see black taxes. So and then because of where you are, you see, the thing with black tax is this: it's always going to be there. So it's either you empower or you pay, right? You keep on paying because you want to be the big guy all the time. And whatever, right? But you school fees because you won't do it. Because you get my point.
Yeah.
But then if you empower them, like what Batsi is saying, black tax because they can help you support the family type of thing. That's why it teaches you because atina option, even life whatever, you find a way to still empower the person so that person doesn't become a burden for the rest of their life.
Okay, I want us to draw battle lines here because clearly I'm the only one here who is saying black tax is bad, and it's a burden. I'm saying a burden. Yes, Liz, I'm trying to draw the lines. I'm trying to draw the lines, right? I'm saying it's bad and it's like a burden to someone. And I don't know life. We all live our own lives, but draw your line before I say what I want to say, and draw your line.
My take on black tax is that it's got extremes. So I'm gonna be middle range. It's got extremes. Sometimes when it's just whack. I'm middle range. There's sometimes when it just doesn't make sense, bro. Like you've got. I'll give you an example. Like last week, right? I got a random Facebook message from a random person who just happens to share a surname with my mom's niece surname, right? And I'm like, okay. First of all, I don't know who the hell you are, right? And this person says, hi, Nanchkumbro number, ya tete. I'm like, what? And I don't recognize his face. I don't recognize nothing, bro. I don't know this person, right? And then, ndakaenda ku Greendale, ndikavashaya. Fam, we last lived in Greendale 20 years ago, bro.
Exactly. This person saw you when you were a kid.
Last saw me 20 years ago. They don't know anything about my life, nothing. See, so for me, that is a clear line where I'm just like, bro, like, Dinaro, Antikuzim, like that's the level.
That person knows you, bro.
I don't know them, bro.
That person probably changed your diapers.
But if they see me, they will not recognize me. I guarantee it. So that's where I'm with Chris. I'm like, yo, bro, like I know I was making sense. But at the same time, I mean, there's for me, there's a level of black tax where I'm even a black tax person. Like I have leaned on my sister, I've leaned on my brother, I've leaned on my parents. I am black tax. For me to be where I am right now, I am a result of black tax. I went to school.
I'll come back to that, Batsi. I mean, Kudzi.
So that's
what draw your line, Kudzi?
I'm a result of black tax through family, certain family members. certain family members. I support it because I don't have a choice, but also I respect the whole situation and the because we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. But what I don't like, of course, is I'm a people's person. Of course, I have extended family that definitely I take care of, but then I look at the situation and I'm like, hey, I'm here, and I'm in a better position than someone else, and probably my $40 is the worst to them. Easily go and buy a bottle, any amount. But then if I give them that, which is really, I kind of compare. I'm like, okay, let me just see if I can help like A, B, C, and D. It becomes a problem like what Batsi is saying when it's now expected you are supposed to do A, B, C, and D. Now that's a problem. But I'll say I support it. I'll draw my line with I support it.
You support it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Funny that I don't disagree, that I don't agree with there, because like this obligation that you're putting on people, I don't agree it's being an obligation. Nah, Jack. Nah.
But that's by definition what black tax is. It's an obligation.
It's an obligation that you don't really sign
by
up
definition.
for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is by definition.
Yeah, by definition. But for me, it's one of those. I don't have to. I can text evade him that if I have to. Andina. Oh, every time.
Exactly.
And Didi.
You have the choice to do that, and that's cool, right? But also, when we're doing those kind of things, like we've got choices, but like it's either no bad and
it's up to
will
you.
I tell you that I can help every one of my relatives? Probably not, right? Probably not. There is only a few I can help, right? Because I've only no capacity to a certain point. People would see you, but in a certain position, and they would think you on a people put a net worth on you already before you
Exactly.
So people's expectations, but certain things come as an obligation, because if you're maybe like in my position, firstborn child, and then I go out of first child to get out of the country, first child to get out of Africa, and then when my sister comes to varsity time, obvious Dara,
see, that's where my challenge is with this. And look, is it your responsibility when someone ever like one of our sheep, they had the baby Vega. Yes, fair enough, right? So anyways, let me go back. I want to dial it back. Wait. Let me dial it back. My first question comes from this, because Kudi is the one who raised parents. Kudi, Lorenzo, which called them my parents. I was raised on black tax.
Yeah.
Is it, first of all, not their obligation to send you to school? It's your right to go. Education is your right. Wait, let me finish. Yeah. It's your right to go to school. They chose to have a kid. They have to take care of that kid, and school is part of taking care of that kid. And secondly, aging parents who did not prepare well for their retirement, right, also will now expect you to take care of them. And this is what you like. It's cool. Well, listen. Let me finish. I don't have you. Listen, guys, no, I want to express this because I know a lot of my friends are suffering from this black tax thing. I don't know mama, I don't know dara, I don't know brothers, I don't know sisters, I don't know all that stuff. Yeah. So this is actually a very good question. Is it your responsibility to take care of somebody who failed to prepare for for their retirement? I know, yes, there are so many factors involved in this question, like the economic factor that happened in Zimbabwe itself, right? But I'm saying in a proper, a proper economy, is it your problem now? Maybe because But I don't know. So why is it now? Why are you burdening a child to say with the all right, per $50 per month, per week, your wage, you have to at least subtract 20, and then you also right 20 end up with my parents, 20 end up with my siblings. You also run a 5. How are you going to even make savings out of that? That then makes a cycle of the whole family still being poor because prepare life don't you see like it's now a vicious cycle of poverty at the end of the day? Do you get my question?
No, your question, I get it, but my for me, it all boils down to your moral obligation. I think that's where it comes down to. If you as a person, you're getting your $50, and you decide this $50, I'm taking care of number one, right? This is me. I'm doing me, right? And you pay your bills, whatever, and you better your life. And that is your decision, right? You make your decision. If
but you can't black taxi
but at the end of the day, it's your choice. Apana achapina tora roko rwake oisa mupocket mako tora mari ndionengo apa, so it's always going to be your decision, like Chris, like Kuti was saying. But for me,
I think a black sheep black sheep or shunned out of the family at that point.
Then there's something though. That's what you have. That's the risk you're taking by not taking the obligation to yourself. Like it is what it is, bro. Kubatirana type vibe.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. You when you were talking about it and asking your question, you came up with a very good twist at the end.
Valid.
But if I can come back to that, right? If I can come back to let's say we can't just talk about a good economy. Let's talk about our economy. Let's talk about our own black tax, right? Our own Zimbabwean black tax. It's because Panama retirement, whether our parents would have done things the right way or wrong.
Let's be practical about it. Let's be practical about it.
Okay, so let me rephrase my question. Let me rephrase my question then properly. Let me rephrase my question. I believe, yes, in any Kutengera support a family is good, right? On our black tax, particularly my parents. I mean, if my dad was there, I would still be doing the same. Moms, I would still be making sure moms, I try here and there where I can, right? But I'm saying that in circumstances that this economy as it is, I'm sure you've heard stories of him. And I'm sure you've heard these stories recently, actually, in the news and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So surely, at what point, and it was this, are these kids supposed to be able to build their own life at the same time fighting nemabereki kuti ndiani arikuda kuchengetwa more, ndiani anozodinzwi more, kana kuti varoda chakati vada kuextenderwa imba, vada kutengerwa motikari, hembe,
nemari dzese dzanadzo haana
anonyatsotichengeta. So maybe let's start from there.
Okay.
No name dropping, please. Let's not name drop anything.
In that regard, I think no one has the right to tell you how much, to what extent you can help, right? No one has got the right to do that. If I've got $1 trillion to my name, and if I decide that I'm going to make sure you don't want for food, right? I'm going to make sure that my school fees, $50 a term, right? I have no obligation to pay $10,000 for you to go to the best school and the best college in the world. I've got no obligation to do that. You can't speak to.
But is that not empowering Kumendesa to the best school?
Yeah, no, but you can't dictate to what extent I help.
$50.
But my point is, you can't dictate to me to what extent I help. Haungazoti vaindiendesa kuchikoro but ndaida kuenda kuHartman House but vakandiendesa kuSeke High. You can't dictate to what extent.
Not saying that Seke High is a bad school.
No, I'm saying the difference, private and public. I know $50 and $10,000. Do you go town? But I'm saying, like exactly like what you said, Chris, right now. You're saying that Seke is not a bad school. Do extend your kubatsira and akwanisa. So you can't dictate to me, good, how much am I supposed to help? Can kubatsira? You can never do that.
Kuzi, what's your take? Do you say raise up? Let's go and sit this paribas.
I mean, I don't support it, but then I don't support kana wakunzi you're supposed, especially if you have expenses too, right? When you make expenses as a person, so you can't then say you're supposed to pay this or you were supposed to do this. It's when it really comes to that, and I'm also in any kana zvatonzi zvoni, especially okay. Let me put it this way. We do what we can. Of course, like what Bati said, that you must pay this and stuff. But also when it comes to our parents and stuff, it's something that also with our giving, we must also be clever with how we do it too, because sometimes it becomes a monthly thing whereby you have to put it as part of your salary. Like part of your expenses, or you do it in such a way that you empower people so that you all grow together. Kana vari vabereki, it's not like unofanira kupa mari every month. Sometimes you can help them start a project. You know what I mean? Or you can just help them buy a van so that they can do something, so that it doesn't become a thing you're going forward. Every time. Help them to income.
Okay. My question, but hasn't our generation suffered enough, right? When you look at a situation whereby we've gone through economic meltdowns, we're going through coronaviruses. Guys, I'm sure a lot of our generation, like speaking of, I think the majority of it, right? I think many of them don't even have proper savings. If there's a crisis here, they can handle it. Nema savings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're looking at situations people are actually struggling, but in their struggling, they are still being asked to help. And then I want to drive back to this point, Yoguti. First of all, it becomes a vicious cycle of poverty. Mana is not being given an opportunity, because I'm talking, when I say our generation, I'm talking Pedu Patiris who's run up 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33 up and it. Yeah. We're not being given enough time to grow, mature, and prepare for our own futures, our own families, right? That's why you find most of our generations are not getting married, because married no, this is just an example, and it's just an example, right? And then also it boils back down to what I think is, look, as I said, I'm okay. I'm very okay with how it becomes sort of like a must. And I'm saying, look, give people an opportunity to grow first before you start demanding something from them. And don't shun them and don't be like, this is now the black sheep of the family.
And in our culture, in our culture, it can get worse than that. Unozotobatsira munhu nefear yemweya mudhara unotumirwa
unongochiposta uchipopa shampopo pafacebook anditi unongochiratidza vanhu kuti you are living the life,
but kudya mari yauri kushandisa mari yako waishandira.
Exactly. So this is your family, and you totaurawo tionewo uri kuenjoy life, so ungoti something.
But
mari iyoyo inokwanisa kutibatsirawo kana utengo kana shuga.
But kudza ndiri kukupai something chandiri kuona kuti ichi chinoita ichi chiri bo ichi, iwe mukuda more futi muri comfortable muri bo, but muda more aiwa hakuna zvakadaro. Dai nandichiti hapana chandiri kukupai, that's a different story. But this is guys, what you can't dictate for anyone or how much they help.
Can I take you back? I get you guys are now circling around the same thing. You can't dictate, empower, power. I want us to go back to this is a very important question, guys. This vicious circle of poverty that is likely to come around because of black tax. I'm just tackling black tax as a whole, not giving any examples. Could your black tax here, doesn't it then prepare you for failure going forward in your life?
And unfortunately, I think it does. The cycle is very, very vicious because you're not taking care of number one. Number one being yourself. You're not bettering your life because you've got this moral obligation that's there. So when in a scenario where you could have bought a house for yourself, you've had to buy a house for your parents because they can't still be renting. So, and that's a practical example. That's right there. You could have been bettered yourself, but now that's why I'm saying it's a moral obligation. It now depends. How do you feel? How do you feel? Do you get that gratitude from? Do you get that feeling of gratitude from your family when you do something that to that extent, or is it just no? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to better myself. That's more important to me right now. Do you get what I'm saying? If this is more important to me, I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to buy my stand for myself and build myself a house. And mom's right? But when I'm sorted, do you get what I'm saying? It just depends with your moral compass and how you feel about things yourself, right? You can't, that's what I'm saying. You can decide on your own, I'm going to go this route or this route, but it's your moral compass that'll just dictate that. That's how I feel about that. But yeah, it does perpetuate a certain level of a cycle, ucharamba uri pa level yoyo uchitravamo. Unfortunately,
Okay.
What it is.
Kudzi, what's your take on that?
My take is if not managed well, yeah, it'll end up being a vicious, like a vicious. Oh, shush, it'll end up being a vicious.
Anna, do Anna eats but I'm Do Anna eats
English.
Yeah, it came via waters.
It really ends up being a cycle at the end of the day, right? And it will stress you out because you're keeping on forking out money. You you keep on forking out money, and it now becomes very stressful to you at the end of the day. That's why I was like, it just depends on you, Chris. Like, I think you are thrown a lot of stuff at you. People that are demanding money, people that that genuinely need money, people that they can't do without the money, right? And then you've got, you also make a decision as a man. I will tell you, I'll use my own experience because I have like my mom's a nurse, and with the current Zim situation, there's no way I would have expected my mom could kubhadhara fees yese my sister university, especially when she was out of Zim, So right? But also certain people are saying kuti Kudzai is out of the country, he's out of Africa. Maybe Arkungo, Brothers with Voices, I mean, also architecture. But you want to take a t-shirt, I don't know if you go say to Tambira. Saga, now on a skinny guy, Nazi with Maria Cat. You know what I mean? I think Maria
live. I got people saying, hey guys, Kudzani got to change them. Yeah, legit.
The Magdalene Nakai. Saga Nova Saga, it then gets to a point where people are seeing you and Vanogadzira net worth, and then they start asking you for stuff. And it's quite normal, bro. You get messages and that. And I see most of you because I've been in that position before.
Same.
We've been in that position before.
We've all been there.
I've been in a position for me to come to Canada, whatever. I've aspired to come here because of someone. You know what I mean? And that person was here, and I wanted to know how it is, and I wanted to know like boots and kind of t-shirt. You know what I mean? Like, because
yeah.
But also, if you really think about it, Chris, like, we've got a lot of expenses. People don't know my standards of living here are very expensive, right? Like one, bro.
I've heard.
Literally,
I've heard.
This month alone, bro. This month alone, I'm not even gonna get into this, guys.
The bills. So what happens is, like, proportionally, you are then seen, leaving. Maybe you're just wearing nice clothes, go to raw photo. Kana snow, no get an amazira and snow. So you get something, because of that.
But yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fair enough. I get you. Okay. So I want to ask you guys a question, and I want a yes or no answer. Don't say but or
Good luck.
and then.
Good luck.
And I know you guys. No, because I'm driving it to somewhere. I'm driving it to a bigger question, a more important question. So this one doesn't really matter. It's just for me to get to the other question. My question is, do you guys expect your kids, Kanamazo Itavana, to take care of you when they grow?
No.
No. Okay. Good stuff. That's a good answer. I love that answer. That is a beautiful
Because
But why?
Listen.
Why I'm saying no? You need to understand.
No.
I gave these niggas life, bro. Better take care of a nigga, but it's not an obligation.
Listen to the question. Right? Listen to the question. My question is, since we don't want, because I'm also saying, look, I don't want to be taking care of my kids. How then do we put an end to the black text? How do we then say, guys, how do we build our futures so that we don't put this burden on our kids later on in life? Like that's where my question is, because I feel like that's more like solution is better than discussing our wishes and hopes, but rather providing our thought of solution, our opinion in terms of a solution is better that way.
Okay.
ane mukana ngaapewo vamwe mukana, otherwise unoramba unofa uchikumbirwa mari. Iwewe ukakumbirwa mari manje unofunga kuti pamwe uri chef, but unopera iwo manje ndinozopedzisira usisina mari. But if you empower other people get empowered, they empower other people, and then black text becomes less, you know. Problem ndeye kuti iwo ndinongoti wanzi uri dhara stereki, iwo ndiwo wakapenga.
Uda kucomplaina kuti
this company.
You want to be the one who can complain about that, you know. So the second
all the time.
Ndakazopa ningi mari vari kundibowa vanogara chingokumbira mari. You want to be that nigga. That's why that cycle will always be there. So I agree with Kudzianda. I won't even add much on it. Don't go around giving people fish. Take them to the river and say, you know, the fishing rod. Fish so.
That's great.
This is how you do it. I think that's.
But do you know something? I love that you brought that up. You see, I got a lot, and this is now an interesting thing. You know, there's so many scenarios where somebody empowers the family, and the family yakura grow kumba, and then something happens with diaspora. This person, not even with diaspora, maybe roots. Diaspora, and then he has to go back. Right? He has to go back, and then what's the Danny Pepe man? Where's the bad Dubai? And I cheat him for Dubai. The type of vibe. I feel like it's such a bad culture that we have. We think that going back home is such a bad thing. Type of vibe. Like, why is it that our people do this? Like, not even even your friends will be talking.
I was going to say.
One example. I think that's a fair example, guys. You're empowering, you're helping people, right? Not kufaira. Like you're living within your means, you're doing things, but things is not dark, guys. Proper. Even kufaira. For example, boots t-shirt doesn't mean you're rich, right? It doesn't mean you're rich. And so, but obviously, they will assume that you're rich, or whatever the case may be. But it is what it is, right?
I think, Chris, on that one, I think it's really nice for you to assume that everyone is nice. Do you get what I'm saying? They're just generally people out there who just don't want you to see anyone else succeed. Like you can't be naive and assume that everyone, one, wishes you well, and two, is a nice person. You know, there's some people who generally just be like, yo, Zoga, why such a move viral? But they'll just find an excuse to hate your grind, bro. Like it's when people are talking about haters, that's exactly what it is. If you're not doing what's the statement? If you don't have haters, you're not doing it right. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you're not doing it right if you don't have haters, because there's that statement just speaks to the natural inclination of some people to just be evil. and just be bad and just be so it'll be very naive for you to assume that everyone wishes you well, and be very naive for you to think that when things go down everyone's going to be like, you'll be okay, zhichanaka. No, some people are like, yeah, bo tafanana. Like, some people are just douches, period. Those are kuna varoe, those are kuna masatanist. Those are
People are gonna
But
talk,
anyways, yeah.
Hey, bro.
Mana siya inyoka, mana siya inyoka.
Okay, why is it since nyoka ndo inoroya? Why isiri kana maybe tiger kana lion kana hyena?
Wakamboona nyokere? Wamboiona?
Hey, it's a beautiful animal.
Watch just choshisa mdara. Animal moves without legs, bro. Watch choshisa, pana.
And anything that just creeps on you, bro. Anything that just creeps on you is just
scary. Sneaky so. Sneaky.
Zongoro mdara nongorona rislowers.
Abarine my legs, mdara. Rine my legs.
And you got a gumaro
my way.
Killer.
Mama ndifungisa chimwe chine so.
Yeah. Asune gonye.
That I would take him. I would take him.
From now on, I'm the Dutch one. Zongoro.
Aiwa, anyways. So basically, I mean, I know we didn't touch on a lot of things, and I feel like there is definitely a lot to discuss when it comes to black tax. And I would definitely like to make time to cover it, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, I would love it if you would be so kind enough to throw it into the comment section. What you think we didn't touch on, the importance of black tax, how best to empower our generation, because black tax doesn't also just mean it's for relatives, even friends, you know what I mean? So how do you empower your friends? Do you share this material, like how to start a business with them? Do you share with them knowledge? Do you actually, because this is actually a part we didn't touch. How do you help them out until they're there and stuff like that? We didn't touch on that, but I think it's something that we need to talk on later on. But other than that,
also to differentiate between helping and black tax, I think there's also a line there somewhere that we need to differentiate, because the black tax kubatsira is not black tax. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we now need to define where's the line where black tax stops and it's now kubatsira, type of that's another thing that I think we didn't touch on.
It could be still interlinked, because just by the fact that you're black, you're new tema wako. Any assistance
that don't go black tax.
I think the word black tax comes from the mere fact whereby somebody has helped you before, so waku takes and giving back.
True.
I think that's where it stems from. To an extent. Yeah. Course. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great show.
I'm not you standard mdara. You tikapinda tipedzi.
My comments.
cards.
That is the blackest text
ever.
Mkwasha apere kuita say anyway.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great episode. It's been a sweet, short. We know it's usually longer, but today we decided to make it shorter so that we can get a little bit more feedback from you in the comment section. So keep the conversation going in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. We definitely need the views. Please, please, please. Go and subscribe and try and watch at least a minute or two, or actually just let it run in the background on YouTube so that you can increase the views, and then you can come and comment on Facebook. We would really appreciate that, because we need the views, guys. To know about Blake takes. To know about Blake takes is also, so please please do that for us, so that we can, try and do something with that. But other than that, Kudzibatsi, do you have any closing statements for yourselves?
Nah, I'm good, bro. Like, let's just continue the conversation, bro. This was a dope episode. I think we definitely need to do a part 2 because there's so much more we need to touch on Black Tax, bro.
Yeah,
so much more.
But also tag a friend. If you're watching right now. Tag a friend or two. Tag a friend, tag a partner in crime. If you want
someone who's a result of Black Tax, if you know that what take on, but it's time to pay up.
Take someone. And I often go to bullshit. Take someone too. It helps. Views. Thank you.
All right. Amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Other than that, have a great weekend. Enjoy the next week, and I will catch you next week, Thursday. Peace out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for spending your time with us today. We really appreciate it. We still want your feedback. Put your comment below, inbox us, and hey guys, Tatenda. Please continue to like our page on Facebook, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and also follow us on Instagram. See you guys next week. Same time, same place. Dino Mike.